Alright, so now we're going to look at the additional exercises in section 7.1. So given the f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k, where a does not equal 0, the vertex of the parabola is the point, well, that's going to be h comma k. Given the graph of f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k, where a does not equal 0, the axis of symmetry is the line given by x equals h. Identify the graph of the function x minus 2 quantity squared minus 3. So my vertex here is h comma k. So h here would be the opposite of this. That would be 2. K would be negative 3. So let's take a look at which graph has a vertex of 2, negative 3. It looks like that first one does. Second one does not. Neither does C or D. So the only one that has the correct vertex here is graph A. This would have vertex 2, 3, so my equation for this one would have had been f of x equals x minus 2 squared plus 3. This has the vertex negative 2, negative 3, so the equation would have had been x plus 2 squared minus 3. And again, this has the wrong vertex. This would be negative 2, 3, so my equation would have had been x plus 2 squared plus 3. So A here is the correct graph that matches my function. So here we want to identify the vertex, the axis symmetry, the domain, and range. So vertex, h comma k, opposite of here for h, so that's 5, k is 6. Axis of symmetry, x equals h, that's going to be x equals 5. My domain, that's automatic. That's going to be all real numbers. Now let's think about a range. This graph here, we have our vertex is 5, 6, so somewhere here. And that negative 3 reflects it and stretches it. So my highest y value would be 6, so my range here would be from negative infinity to 6. Let's try this next one. So vertex, opposite of 4 is negative 4, comma 2. Axis of symmetry, x equals negative 4. Domain, negative infinity to infinity. Let's see if I can write that a little bit better. And then my range, let's just think about the graph of this. So this has got a vertex of negative 4 comma 2, points up, so it looks something like that. So I'm starting here at 2 and it's going on up. So that'd be 2 to infinity for my range. All right, here it asks us to sketch the graph of the function and determine the axis of symmetry. Well, my vertex is going to be 2, 1, and the axis of symmetry, I'm just going to abbreviate symmetry, is x equals 2. So let's take a look at this and see what we have here. Well, first of all, A doesn't have the right vertex, nor does it have the right axis of symmetry. And B, my vertex is 2, so that does not have the right axis. That's not the right vertex, so we can eliminate B. Let's take a look at C. This has the wrong vertex. D, I'm guessing this is a typo, because notice that D has the correct vertex, and that's on this. It should be D because that's my only answer choice left. So let's change this to a 2. So make that correction. So my answer choice would be D. Yeah, they didn't give us a E for none of the above. So this has the correct vertex, 2, 1, and the correct, and once we made the correction there, it now has the correct axis of symmetry. All right, let's find the vertex the problem by applying the vertex formula. So H equals the opposite B over 2A. So B is negative 30. A is 3. So that's 30 over 6. That's going to be 5. And looking at my answer choices, it looks like the only one that can be is A. Let's just verify that. So let's go find f of 5. Since we found a typo on the last one, let's make sure this one is working correctly. And let's plug that into our calculator. Hopefully we'll get a negative 149. Of course not. Oh, my bad. It'd help if I entered the problem correctly, right? All right, let's change that to a negative. So yes, it does as the correct point. So A would be my correct answer. Let's try B. So again, I'm going to do the opposite B over 2 times A. All right, looks like we did some rounding, so it should be a negative 0.53, so 54. So it looks like we can eliminate A and B, because those are not the correct answers, because it's a positive, and this is clearly saying this is negative. So let's just cross those out. And now let's go ahead and plug in. Now, I don't want to retype that whole number when I plug in this as my function. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cheat here a little bit. We're going to make the calculator do all the work. So I'm going to do this negative 0.5 ... So here's how we do it. I'm going to type in 1.3 parentheses. Now you notice way down at the bottom of the calculator, right above that negative sign, there's an A and S. That gives me the previous answer. So I've hit my second key up here, and that key, that's going to pop in my previous answer, squared. And then we have was plus 1.4 parentheses. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Second previous answer, close it. And then minus 5.3. And it looks like D is going to be my answer. All right, let's look at number 9. A model rocket is launched from a raised platform at a speed of 112 feet per second. Its height is given by negative 16t squared plus 112t plus 20. T equals seconds after launch. How many seconds does the object after how many seconds does the object reach its maximum height? So I'm looking for the time, so I'm just looking for h here. So we're going to do h equals the opposite b over 2a. My b here is 112. My a is negative 16. So let's pop that into our calculator. And looks like they want a decimal, so it should be 3.5 seconds. So the answer choice is going to be C. All right. So I didn't have to find K here because they just asked me for the time. A fireworks mortar is launched straight upward from a pool deck platform 8 meters off the ground. So it looks like we're missing a word there. Off, maybe the word of here. An initial velocity of 59 meters per second. The height of the mortar can be modeled by this equation here, where h of t is the height in meters and t is the time in seconds after flow. What is the maximum height? So this time I'm looking for the k value of the vertex. So I still have to first find h, but then I'm going to need to plug in to find k. So h here, the opposite b over 2a. B is 59. 2a, a is negative 4.9. So let's plug that into our calculator. And get out of that light. Okay, so again, messy number. I'm not going to sweat it because I'll just use my ANS key. So this would be 6.02 blah blah blah. Remember, this is in seconds. We're not done. We have to find the maximum height, so we have to find k. So again, I'm going to make the calculator do the work for me. I'm going to take a negative 4.9 parentheses, second ANS, close parentheses, square it, plus 59 parentheses, second ANS, close parentheses, plus 8. So it's 185.6. They said round to the nearest meter. So the answer closest here would be B at 186 meters.